Are you stuck in Warzone trying to get your KD up or trying to get more wins, even top 5s, top 10s, and feel yourself getting nowhere, stuck against a brick wall, continuously finding sweaty lobbies? Well, then this is the video for you. I'm going to go over some of the best tips and tricks on how you can improve every single game, just little things that will help you instantly get higher placings, more kills, and get better game sense against these sweaty lobbies. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin. Today I am going to be going over some of my best and top tips and tricks for Warzone Season 4 with its upcoming season that we're going to get in just a week or so's time now. And it's going to be the tips and tricks that are going to help you guys improve your day-to-day games. So every single time you hop on, little things that you can do that you're going to see a huge difference with doing. A lot of these I've done myself over the past couple of months, especially the last couple of weeks. I've been really focusing on getting better and better and better at Warzone. And I've got some fantastic tips for you guys that are actually current and relevant to now. If you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you hit a like down below because I'd really appreciate that. It helps me and the video out massively. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're glad to have you here. This is the channel of Invin, which is me. We are grinding for 2k subs currently, so it'd be great to have you here as part of the channel community. Go down below, press that big red subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single upload from the channel. Other than that, we're going to jump into the video here. So the first tip I've got for you guys is going to be to use vehicles. A lot of people do run around the map far too much in Warzone. We used to do it, me and my squad, all the time. We'd always be running around everywhere because we didn't want to get seen on the map in vehicles. And a lot of players have this disposition where they think that getting seen in a vehicle on the map instantly means that you're at a disadvantage. Well, actually, there's quite a lot of reasons why it's a good thing. One, you can see if people start shooting at you, you know you're not going to go and loot that area if you're looking for loot because you know there's people there camping, spraying, whatever they're doing, hitting the buy, whatever it is, they're in that area. So if they shoot at you, that's one good thing because you can either reposition and go for the kill on them, or you can get out of there quickly in a car or a chopper or whatever you've got. You can then also get a good coverage of the map very quickly. So if you need to get your teammates back in and you've got a vehicle nearby, you can easily do a supply run, or you can easily do a recon contract where you're going to be able to get a ton of money and you don't have to fight anybody, so you can passively get your teammates back in a ton quicker. And on top of this, you can rack up contracts towards the start of the game very fast. This is one thing I'd highly recommend as well. It's going to spill into another sort of tip here, but doing contracts as quick as you can, a vehicle is really going to help that, and I'll cover that in an upcoming tip. Also, vehicles are going to help you to be able to maneuver yourselves in a battle. So if you're in a 1v1 squad, so your squad, you're 3 versus another 3, let's say, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 other squads start rolling into the area, you can hop in your Jeep, get out of there, reposition, come back round for the kills once they've finished fighting, and you're going to be a ton better off rather than getting 3rd, 4th, 5th partied like we all do every single time we play. So that is one massive thing that's really helped me get out of a ton of situations, is just getting in the car, not being afraid to back off, reroute, come up to get the high ground, maybe at top of the cliff, in one of the outside buildings, so that you can get a good vision on what is going on and where these teams are coming from. Look towards the mini-map, see if you can see, maybe even drive off, go to another buy, pop a UAV, come back in, see where a few of the teams are there. Really good. So repositioning with the cars is fantastic. And another thing you can do with vehicles, especially if you've got the Jeep or the buggy, you're going to be able to drive past with your team in the back. They're going to be able to hop out at different hotspots along the way. So behind a building, behind a wall, you're going to be able to keep driving, causing massive confusion to the enemy. They're going to be looking at the car while your team can sneak in, get the flank, or start fighting, and you can drive round to the flank, and they're going to split their team up so you can pick them off one by one. So if you're close knit but split, so that you're slightly like a triangle formation, you're going to be able to close in on the enemy and get a very easy few kills, which is really nice. It's a big thing I've learned recently. And now another big tip leading on from there, like I said just before then, is doing contracts. So make sure you do as many contracts as you can right off the bat. Try and get at least 3 or 4 done straight away every game. One, it'll get you the money for a loadout, which is fantastic. Self-reses, UAVs, all that good stuff. But on top of that, it means that if you do manage to die later in the game and you die in Gouge, or you've had your Gouge, you win that, but then you die later in the game and you need a buyback, your team only has to complete 1 contract to get like 6, 7, 8+ grand, where they're going to be able to then get you in very easily. So it makes it regain games in like the late game stage of the match a ton easier. And I mean, seriously, a ton easier. It's definitely something, if your squad doesn't do it, you need to be doing it. On top of that, if you don't manage to go down at any point, you don't die, constantly doing contracts throughout the game is going to give you enough money to be always popping a UAV so that you're going to be on top of any teams that are trying to sneak up on you if they're not ghosted. As soon as people are ghosted, obviously you need to pop that super UAV, so that's 3 times, or you just need to be aware of your surroundings, but it's going to make sure that you're getting any of those outlier players or players that are trying to regain and potentially snipe a kill as the third-party team trying to come in once teams have fought it out. You're going to see where they are on the map and be able to shut that down before they actually get in there. And it's particularly good for the last zone because sometimes people will buy their teammates back in the last zone, particularly if they've got a couple of kills, and then they're going to land on that loot and you're going to see where that team actually is because the ghosted player has just bought his teammates back without perks. So you're then going to be able to get free kills basically on a team, and it might even win you the game. So it's definitely worth always having as much cash as you can. So economy, keep it up. Another massive tip, it kind of leads on from the first point I said about repositioning as well, is not being afraid to just dip out of there. When situations get a bit sticky, a bit dodgy, just drive away, run away, whatever it is, reposition, fly away, whatever. Just get yourself out of that situation, reposition to give yourself the advantage so that you've got enough information on where the enemy is. If you can't see where you're getting shot from, move to a different location, get out of the way of the shots and come back in when you can actually see those players because you are going to do a ton better. It's really, seriously, a good thing to do. Now, another thing that's going to be really helpful is also making sure that when you do get randomly rushed, you don't panic. It's easier said than done, and you do need to try it for a few games, but just keeping you cool is going to really help you with composure, which is going to be like the main factor that's going to keep you with your head in the game, and make sure that you calculated on those approaches to kills. If someone flies in at you spraying, turn around and shoot them like you would in multiplayer. Don't stand there jumping on tables. We've all done it. I jumped over a fence yesterday in a final 1v1 zone. My team was not happy, but this is the sort of things that we do. We panic, try to jump, try to move, and then sometimes, like that happened to me, you auto mantle over something, it's game. So you really want to make sure that you're trying to focus as much as possible on just returning fire, because often the enemies will just be spraying because they've seen you. So if you turn around and hit shots accurately, 9 times out of 10 you can still get the kill, which is amazing to see. But once you start doing it, you will realise that a ton of people who play Warzone kind of just hope for the best with the shots. So you're going to get a lot of kills actually just turning around and shooting back. So try not to run if they're really close on you, but if they're kind of having a gunfight from further away, you don't know where you are, that's when you want to reposition. Kind of following on from this then is awareness of the zone and not being afraid to just play a little bit more passively, particularly on those last couple of zones. When there's only around, 5 to 8 teams left, maybe under 20 players, 16, 17 players in the lobby, and you and your boys are still up, or maybe you're solo. Particularly if you're solo, you're going to want to play a lot more passive, but even as a full 3-4 man squad, let the other teams fight it out. Don't always be the instigator unless you know that they're all undergeared. You've cracked a few of the teams a few times. Then you want to push together as a squad to make sure you're staying together. But don't be afraid to play passive. Let the other teams fight it out. Try and make sure that you're the last team engaging. That means you'll have more plates, more HP, more ammo. Literally everything goes in your favour if everybody else has fought it out. But make sure that you do engage if the last 2 teams other than yourselves are fighting. Make sure you've got good eyes on it, you reposition to a good advantage spot, and as soon as they finish fighting, you jump in, swoop in for those last kills. Yes, some people will probably get annoyed at that, but it's the best way to farm yourself some wins if you're trying to get up that elo pool so that you're not sat in lobbies where everyone's kind of camping corners with a shotgun, because that can be a bit annoying at times. So yeah, try and farm those wins. And then finally here, another thing that's really important that we've been learning a lot over the last few days is to not focus on ghosts too much. Get your first load out as quick as you can and then play for kills. Get self-reses, get UAVs, get yourselves in a good position, get some recons done so that you know where you're going, and just take out the teams on the edge of the map. Don't run into the middle of the map, spraying everywhere, trying to get enough money for ghosts. The second loadout that drops around 3, 4, 5 minutes in after the first zone's going to be closing there, about 10 seconds before the first zone actually closes, you're going to be able to get a second loadout there for free that drops from the sky, so you can easily get a free ghost from that. And then even if you don't get that one, or even if you wait for that one for your first loadout, you then get another one later in the game. So just play the game out. If people rush you because you're not ghosted, just position yourselves well so that you can get those kills and almost use it as a bait yourselves out to get people to push up to your building or to wherever you are kind of hiding out or patrolling, and that way they're going to get screwed over and you're not. Also, going back to the vehicle point there, if you're not ghosted but you've got a vehicle, you can just reposition really, really quickly. As soon as you hear a UAV, start moving around in the vehicle. They're not going to be able to catch you out. They're going to see you on a map in a vehicle regardless of ghost, so don't worry about it. Just keep moving around, repositioning. Don't stay in one area too long unless you know you've got that area locked down, and you should be fine until you get your ghost classes. So hopefully this has helped some of you guys out. Obviously, on top of this, using a good class is really going to help, and as you'll see on the channel, there is a ton of class videos that I've been making over the past few days. KD specific ones from streamers like Tim the Tapman and Nick Merckx. I've also done a ton on like the underrated and off meta classes. Tons of like my favorite classes such as the LC10, the Mac 10, all that good stuff. So make sure you go ahead, click on the channel, look through at those videos. They are also going to help you on top of these gameplay tips to be able to do super well in the game. And if you have found this useful, make sure you drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments which tip you actually found the most useful that you wasn't really thinking about before, because there's a ton of these things that when you say it out loud you think, oh yeah, that's kind of obvious, but maybe you don't think about it in game. So let me know down below which one of those hits home for you. Other than that, if you are new, like I said at the beginning, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you here. I'm pushing for 2k subs, so your support would be much appreciated. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care and peace.